Welcome back to Alpacamade. It's great to see you again. It is August 10th, 2020, and we have an unboxing, something we haven't done in a while.
So today is a little bit of a hodgepodge. We're going to open up a package. What's in here, I don't know. Well, that's not entirely true. I ordered it. I know what's in here. What I don't know is if it's going to be useful, because we're starting to get a little bit of, we already have a storage problem with soap. We've made enough bars of soap and loaves of soap and types of soap that things are starting to get a little confusing, and so we're going to fix that. And there's my packing list, and I'm just going to put off camera. And all this is a box within a box. So we'll get rid of the box. So what I bought is not going to work. These are little market trays. These are little market trays, and I'm going to keep the box right here. But here's what they look like. They are too small. I'm not sure how that happened, because I spent a goodly deal of time trying to knowing that these sides were slanted. I spent a good amount of time trying to make sure I got the right width on the bottom so I could pad them on the side maybe. These are not going to work. I want to call this soap the Beauty. I want to call it the the best soap that I've made so far, visually and ingredient wise. But as you can see right down here, it cracked during curing. This is cold processed soap, so it had to cure in a warm oven, and it cracked. There's a couple of reasons why it could have cracked, maybe 3 or 5 reasons. The first reason is lye mix being too strong, and I know that's not true, because I actually intentionally made the lye mix with more water ratio rather than less. So I know it's not lye that's too strong. But let's get this baby up on the cutter and see if it's usable in its condition currently. And because the sides, the ends are so nice and straight, I'm not going to trim anything off. I'm not going to make like a little tiny slice to square it up. It's fine the way, well, you know what, I am going to. Just, you establish a practice, and then when you deviate from it is when problems happen. So I'll cut this little squaring up slice, and we'll write the date on it and so forth like I always do. So there you go. This soap is, and my knife just hit the floor. It fell flat on the top of my foot, which is better. So this is lemongrass and Meyer lemon fragrance, not fragrance oil, but essential oil. And the colorant I used for this, what is supposed to be yellow, it's actually peach. This colorant is turmeric, and a little bit, the speckles you see is a little bit of, drawing a blank, I'm looking right at it, chamomile, ground up chamomile. So this should have some exfoliating properties. It also has oatmeal in it, and it has kaolin clay. So we'll talk about that in a minute. Let's get this thing cut up, because we're just, burning daylight here.
So you might say, hey, Alpaca, why did you say it might be a beast then? Well, when the soap was finished, it had a beautiful lovely fragrance. I mean, it just smelled awesome. It did not smell like lemons or grass. And as we've said before, lemongrass smells like grass when you're infusing it. Nevertheless, it cracked, so there was that, and I was able to partially repair the crack. But more than that, there's something you can do called a pH test, which is what you're seeing right now, or you can do what's called the sting test or the zap test, where you just take a little shaving of soap and put it on your tongue, and if it zaps you, there is unprocessed lye in it. And honestly, that's what I was concerned about and afraid had happened. But you can see by the picture that I did a litmus test, a chemical paper test, and it is fine. It is a nice rich green, which is in the neutralized zone. So it's perfectly fine as soap, even though it's cold processed, and it needs to cure for 6 weeks, so it won't be available until, sometime late September, I would imagine. Nevertheless, there was something about it that was just bothering me. The taste of it wasn't right, and that's why I made sure that I did a litmus test. I don't recommend doing zap tests because you're going to end up tasting that soap in your mouth all day long. Plus, you've just put unprocessed or incompletely processed lye in your mouth. So there are many people much more talented and knowledgeable than I who do it all the time. I'm just saying I don't do it. And as you can see, we have a nice bubbly ferment going on with our apples that we put up to ferment for our next round of apple cider vinegar. That's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for stopping by. I hope that you had a great weekend. I hope that you and yours are in good health and blessed by God. And I hope to see you again on Thursday. Until then, take care.